So, the Ahsoka show is coming out very soon, and from the trailer and marketing, we know that it's going to link into Rebels. So today, I've decided to recap some key events from Rebels that may be useful to know when watching Ahsoka, and to remind you all of where Rebels left off. I hope you enjoy. To start, I'm briefly going to describe each member of the Ghost Crew from Rebels. First, there's Ezra Bridger, a young Jedi who was trained by Kanan Jarrus in the time of the Empire. At the point of the start of Ahsoka, he is missing. Next, there's Kanan Jarrus, a Jedi who survived Order 66 as a Padawan and later died sacrificing himself for the Ghost Crew. Then there's Sabine Wren, a Mandalorian who does a lot of art and owned the Darksaber for a short period of time before giving it to Bo-Katan. Next, there's Hera Syndulla, an amazing pilot who was the daughter of the famous Twi'lek freedom fighter Cham Syndulla, and was in a loving relationship with Kanan. Last we saw of her, she was serving the Rebel Alliance while taking care of her and Kanan's young son, Jason. Then there's Zeb Orrelios, a Lasat who's one of the last of his species, and kind of acts as the muscle of the Ghost Crew. Finally, there's Chopper, an astromech droid who's an absolute menace, with a surprisingly high kill count. Anyway, that's the Ghost Crew covered, but how does Ahsoka link in? Well, Ahsoka was a leading figure of Rebels, serving under the title of Fulcrum for some time, and in this time, she came to know the Ghost Crew. While the Rebels were searching for a place to establish a base, and Ezra and Kanan kept running from Inquisitors, Ahsoka advised the Jedi to go to the Lothal Jedi Temple and talk to Yoda. While there, Ezra was told to go to Malachor, and Ahsoka went there with Kanan and Ezra. Vader then arrived, and Ahsoka shut herself in with the Sith, refusing to leave before someone was defeated. However, she didn't die, as Ezra from the future, partway through the final series of Rebels, pulled her out of the fight through the World Between Worlds. Now, the World Between Worlds isn't something I'm going to go into fully here, but it's basically time travel. After entering the World Between Worlds, Ahsoka is soon split up from Ezra, after being attacked by Palpatine trying to use them to enter the World Between Worlds. Ahsoka then goes through the portal she was pulled out of, and that's the last we see of her in Rebels. Finally, I'm going to briefly recap the finale of Rebels, just so you know where the story left off. In this episode, the Rebels break into the Imperial complex on Lothal, known as the Dome. Their plan is to call all Imperial forces on the planet there using Protocol 13, and force it to fly away and self-destruct. However, Thrawn arrives and takes down the shields around the capital city and bombards the civilians, asking for Ezra's surrender. Ezra surrenders himself, giving his lightsaber to Chopper, and the rebels aim to restore the shields. Thrawn then takes Ezra to Palpatine over hologram, while the rebels fight their way to the shield generators. Meanwhile, Mart Matin and Commander Wolf fly into high orbit and send out a signal beacon at frequency 0 under Ezra's orders. Ezra is then shown a gateway to his dead parents, and is asked by Palpatine to open it. In the dome, the rebels struggle to gain control, and Gregor dies, as they work on restoring the shields. On Thrawn's ship, Ezra destroys the gateway and fights off Imperial troops. Thrawn orders the bombardment of Lothal's capital city, but finds that the shields are back up. Ezra then faces Thrawn, and the Purrgil arrive, due to the signal beacon from earlier, destroying Thrawn's fleet, and grabbing onto Thrawn's ship, Thrawn shoots Ezra in the shoulder, but Ezra carries on and flies away with Thrawn via the Purrgil. The rebels then blow up the Empire, with Sabine using Ezra's lightsaber to get everyone out to the Ghost. As the Ghost flies away, Chopper reveals a message Ezra had recorded earlier for this situation. In this message, Ezra speaks to everyone and tells Sabine, "Don't forget, I'm counting on you."
Sabine, don't forget.
Right.
I'm counting on you.
Me. But for what?
He also says, "I can't wait to come home."
I can't wait to come home.
After this, the episode flashes forward in time to Sabine catching us up on what has happened. This epilogue appears to be set midway through the Ahsoka show. In the epilogue, it is revealed that the Empire didn't attack Lothal again, and that Hera now has a child, who's her son with Kanan. Sabine also realizes that there's something more Ezra wants her to do, other than protect Lothal, and Ahsoka shows up dressed in white. Sabine then goes out in search of Ezra. And that concludes my Rebels recap. I hope you enjoyed and that this video helps in making you more prepared for Ahsoka, and we hope to see you later at Vault Holocron.